Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. I'm Mario Salinas, Superintendent. I am joined by our Board President, Miguel Mike Farias. Today we're going to talk about why you want to send your children to Edinburg schools. Sir, before we get going on our topics of discussion, I want to talk about COVID and the COVID update up to this date. The trends continue to look good.
Yes, sir.
There's less and less of the COVID-19 cases in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
There's the numbers of students getting infected are less, even though more and more students are attending schools. This week we had up to 12,000 students attend schools, our schools. So more and more parents are getting confident. More and more students are sending their children to our schools. Very few staff are getting infected with COVID, and we attribute that to the fact that we vaccinated most of our staff. The vaccines work. Mm-hmm. And I know that you have an announcement to make to the community as far as COVID-19 on the front of vaccination.
Yes, from the very beginning, we knew that it was of utmost importance mm-hmm. to administer the vaccine, and we made it available to all the individuals mm-hmm. that qualified to begin mm-hmm. with. Mm-hmm. And when the qualifications started including more individuals, we opened it up. Mm-hmm. And we were, safe to say, I believe we were one of the first 6A districts mm-hmm. in the state of Texas mm-hmm. that can say they vaccinated 100% of all their employees, not mm-hmm. just their teachers, mm-hmm. of all their employees that wanted the mm-hmm. vaccine. Mm-hmm. We went from there to then mm-hmm. to seniors. Mm-hmm. And we went ahead, when they went ahead and lowered it down to 16-year-old mm-hmm. and above, mm-hmm. that's when we went ahead and prioritized, and we made it available to all our seniors and our juniors, mm-hmm. anybody that qualified 16 or over. Well, we got good news. Pfizer is now made it available where 12-year-olds are going to be eligible for the vaccine. So we're going to be doing our first vaccination clinic this coming Friday. And we're going to hit all our middle schools and our high schools. So we're going to make that priority. Mm-hmm. And think about it. I'm sure a lot of you out there did not take a summer vacation last summer because of the pandemic, because of the fear of going out there and being exposed to the public and not being vaccinated. Now you got a great opportunity to go ahead and up to the age of 12 and above to vaccinate your child. And you can go and enjoy your vacation, not having to worry about contracting the disease or the virus because of the vaccination. We know it works. We know it works. All the cases of the individual, but it's been very few. Every single one of those cases of one of our employees catching COVID has been an individual that did not elect to take the vaccine. So we know it works. Very, very little cases that are out there in our district, and it's due to us prioritizing the vaccine to not only our teachers, but all our employees, our children, and the parents of our district. We've done over 25,000 vaccinations, and that's attributed to the fast thinking that you did as appointing COVID director and going forward with it. And now I'm proud to announce, and so happy to announce now, they lowered it down to 12 years old and over. So please take advantage of this opportunity. It's free, no charge. It's going to be done in the school. So you don't have to go, you don't have to displace your child. While your child is at the school, they'll be able to get vaccinated by our registered nurses that have been trained to do that and have much experience in doing it with over 25,000 vaccines.
Yes, sir. To emphasize your point, the vaccines do work.
Yes, sir.
Over 90% of our staff opted to take the vaccine. Mm-hmm. And in the past month, we've had a few staff get infected, and those few staff opted not to vaccinate. So the vaccines work. If you get vaccinated, the probability of getting COVID-19 is very low.
And also the percentage of the hospital rate has also gone low. So, you know, in Hidalgo County, it's the evidence is out there that the vaccine works. We were at 30-40%. Now we're at below 10%.
We're right at, as of yesterday, we were right at 8%.
8%. And I mean, that's a major accomplishment. And I believe the threshold was 15. And then we were above that for a long time before the vaccine was available. So that's just evidence that the vaccine works. And we still have cases, don't get me wrong, but we have those cases is due to the individuals that have not been vaccinated yet.
They have opted not to
Yes.
vaccinate.
Yes.
So let me make one correction on that. Our first vaccine clinic for 12-year-olds, 13, 14, and 15 is going to be at the Activity Center.
Oh, okay.
Next Friday.
Okay, at
And
the
then
Activity Center.
Thereafter, one of the big advantages that Edinburg CISD has over most other systems is that we have a force of over 50 registered nurses, all of them trained to vaccinate.
Yes.
So we have the staff to be able to vaccinate. That is one of the reasons that we have vaccinated more people than almost all the hospital systems in the valley, with the exception of
Of course.
DHR. We have the staff. So our initial clinics for 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-olds are going to be large vaccination clinics, like at the Activity Center at 1,000, 2,000 per day. And then we're going to move over to the schools.
Okay.
I know that there are pharmacies out there that want to partner with us, and we are probably going to take up that offer and for them to help us when we go back to the campus and vaccinate our students on campus.
Very good. Very good. So are we going to be busing the children to the Activity Center?
No, we're going to ask the parents to go get the bands like we normally, when we started vaccinating, the community would go get their bands, and then with the band they'd go vaccinate.
Okay.
So we're going to ask the parents to go to the stadium, get the band for your child, and then go to the vaccine clinic the following day.
Very good.
That's the way we're going to start, and then before we go on to the campuses and start vaccinating on campus for those that are still wanting to get vaccinated and have not been vaccinated, we're going to get to a point where we're going to staff the campuses.
Real good. Excellent. Well, that's good news. That is really good news. And, you know, hopefully once it progresses, they'll lower the age even more. And we'll be able to go ahead and to take care of the rest of the population. But where we sit right now, thank God we have the resources and the staff to facilitate the need. And now we're going to go from 12-year-old and up. And again, this is free of charge, and this is well worth it for the safety of your children.
Yes, it is. And I encourage all parents, if you have children that fit this, that qualify, to vaccinate the children, because the vaccines work. And they generally speaking, if you get a vaccine, if you get vaccinated, you don't get COVID.
Very good.
And of course, our efforts in trying to vaccinate our community is the main reason is we want to get back to normal.
Yes.
Face-to-face instruction.
Yes.
And get back to normal with our children. We know that face-to-face instruction is the best form of instruction out there.
It sure is. And you have some good news that you're going to be sharing too, that our face-to-face instruction is serve us a little wider scope now. As a superintendent, one of the priorities for me is to emphasize early childhood education. That's one of my priorities. Pre-kinder 4, kindergarten, first and second. That is a priority for me. And along those lines, one of my initiatives is to hire a director for early childhood education, so that we can focus our instructional programming
and so we can have more assistance to the campuses, to the principals, and to the teachers. We're going to invest resources, beginning with the director of early childhood to focus there, and plus other resources, so that we can have a high quality early childhood program.
Very good.
Along those lines, sir, the board has agreed to, and this is big, this is very big for our community, the board has agreed to open up our schools to any family that has a 3-year-old on September 1, open it up for full day pre-K 3.
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds. If a family and families, this is very, very important. This is historic. Edinburg CISD has never offered pre-K 3 to all our families. Beginning this school year, we are going to offer pre-K for 3-year-olds beginning this school year. Full-fledged, high-quality instructional program, not babysitting, not daycare. Full service, high-quality instructional program for 3-year-olds, for any family. And you can talk about the qualifying criteria.
Very simple. Quite frankly, the child needs to be 3 by September 1st. You don't have to live in Edinburg. You don't have to meet a salary amount that you make per year. You don't have to meet any other criteria. If you work here at the courthouse, you work at the university, you work at the hospital, and you have a 3-year-old, that we're not talking babysitting. We're talking to be taught by a certified teacher. That's the difference. This isn't daycare. This is a certified teacher is going to be meeting the needs and teaching your 3 and your 4-year-old. So that's of utmost importance, is that when you take your child to a daycare, they're not certified teachers. When you bring your child to ECISD, they are going to be with certified teachers, specifically trained on how to help to give your 3-year-old that extra boost, that advantage, because studies show the sooner you learn how to read, you have an advantage over everyone else. So if you want to give your child that advantage, bring them to ECISD. 3 years old by September 1st, that's the only criteria you need to meet, and they'll be taken care of by certified teachers, not babysitters. And that's the utmost of it. That's so important, because at the end of the day, we all want our children to have the advantage, and ECISD is going to be providing that advantage with certified teachers.
Right, and that is so important, sir, about the certification of our staff, because not only the daycare, sir, but we got charter schools that don't necessarily have to have certified teachers.
True.
They have a prescribed curriculum, and their philosophy is, as long as you can read, you don't necessarily need to be certified to be a teacher in our system. In Edinburg, we have to teach. In Edinburg, you have to be certified. That said, the instructional programs that we use in our pre-K, kinder, first, second, all the way to 12 is research-based instructional programming.
Yes, sir.
So pre-K 3 will be evidence-based, research-based instructional programming, just like all the other instructional strategies that we use for all other grades. So that is very important.
Yes, sir. It sure
point.
is. And, you know, there's our standard. ECISD raises the bar with the standard of quality education, and it all goes back to properly certified individuals to do the instruction. And we don't cut any corners when it comes to that. And we're not going to cut any corners when it comes to the 3-year-olds. We're going to go ahead, and the same teachers that are teaching our seniors, with the qualifications are the same teachers are going to be teaching our 3-year-olds
The same qualifications.
with the same qualifications.
Same qualification. And we know, sir, this is historic for Edinburg. We have not opened it up to all families for 3-year-olds.
Yes.
We do have some special needs children that we serve, but opening 3-year-old program to all families, we know that we're gonna have to do some training
Yes.
because our teachers have not been exposed to 3-year-olds. They've dealt with 4-year-olds
Yes.
and 5-year-olds, but not 3. So we know that we're gonna have to train. We're gonna have to do some training for working with 3-year-olds, and we intend to do that over the summer because we anticipate families opting to bring their children to our schools because we have very good schools.
Yes, and then with open enrollment, which I stated before, you don't have to live in Edinburg to
No.
send your child here. So that's a big plus, and it is historical. And we're up for the challenge, and like everything else that we do at ECISD, we won't only meet the challenge, but we'll go above and beyond for quality education for our 3-year-olds that we're going to be accepting.
Sir, there are 3 priorities for me, 3 priorities as a superintendent. Number 1, have the best instructional programs, the most high quality instructional programs for students. Their students are our priority. Without students, we don't have jobs.
Exactly.
Parents are a priority. Without students and parents, we don't have jobs. The parents, really, sir, because we're a taxpayer-funded organization, without parents, we don't have jobs either. If they're not happy with our product, they can take their children and go somewhere else.
Yep.
So students and parents are super important to me as a superintendent. We have to provide the highest quality programming there is, instructional programming, because education is the way. As you know, and I know, education is the way. And the parents know that too.
Oh, yes, they do.
They look for the highest quality educational programs out there. And if they're not happy with Edinburg, they'll go somewhere else.
That's true.
The other priority for me as a superintendent is the teacher. Because the teacher is going to spend 183 full days with that pre-K 3-year-old, pre-K 4-year-old, that 5th grader, 183 days. So if I'm a parent, I want the best teacher that there is out there to be with my child all day long.
Yes, sir.
That makes a difference. If the child's exposed to a high quality teacher that's certified, that makes a difference. So those 3 things are super important to me. I believe that that I exist, board members exist, everybody else in the organization exists in Edinburg CISD to serve 3 people: the students, their parents, and the teacher.
Yes, sir.
I believe in that. So, yes, we intend to deliver on the quality for our students. The parents that choose to send their children to Edinburgh schools, we intend to deliver the highest quality educational programming that there is. That being said, one of the things that's super important for us is after-school programs.
Yes.
It's super important to us. We think that after-school programs make a difference when it's done correct. And you
Yes,
can
sir.
talk a little bit about that, because we've talked about after-school programs
Yes, sir.
many times in the
Yes,
superintendent's
and you know,
perspective.
what I love about the after-school programs is we're going to make those available to all 31 of our elementaries. And not only that, but what I really appreciate about that is every child is going to have the same opportunity. It doesn't matter what elementary they go to, they're going to have the same opportunity to learn piano, to learn guitar,
Correct.
to get involved in robotics, to get involved in something that piques their interest, UIL based, something to challenge them. And what's really what's really neat about that is so many of these children, if they can find what they're interested in and make it enjoyable, they'll excel. They'll excel. And before you know it, we have so many diamonds in the rough out there, that if we don't expose them to all these different opportunities, they'll never know their full potential. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to expose them to different opportunities so they can see what their interest is and what their potential is. And we're going to aid them in whatever they need to make sure they succeed. And you know, it's hard enough as it is right now dealing with the situation with COVID, dealing with the situation with economics, dealing with the situation of unemployment, that the parents will have the peace of mind knowing that their child is getting every opportunity. And they don't have to go to a certain school to get it, but they can come to ECISD, and no matter where you live, no matter who you are, you're going to get the same opportunity as everyone else. And I'm excited to see how many diamonds are going to come out polished from us making this available to the whole community. And and both you and I are firm believers, and we share the same philosophy of investing in the front end. That's why we're opening it up to 3-year-olds. The sooner we can get a hold of them, the sooner we can get them in front of a licensed, qualified teacher, the sooner we can get for them to start absorbing all this information and absorbing all these tools to be successful. And I can't think of a better way of investing in the front end than to open it up for 3-year-olds.
Yes, sir. The parents, as I was saying, it's their priorities for us. They expect us to have high quality early childhood programming. That's what they expect from us. And you talk about highly qualified teachers. Yes, that's the priority for us to work with these students. Parents expect us to have high quality after school programs.
Yes, sir.
They expect that, and we intend to do that district-wide. We're going to level the playing field. And we're going to offer full service, high quality after school programs. In the fine arts, you talked about it, you got piano, you got theater arts, you have art, you have guitar, you have singing, choir. I mean, you have all these fine arts. Then you jump over to the UIL, you have UIL spelling, UIL ready writing, UIL science, UIL math, UIL number sense, and on, that the children can choose from. If your child likes mathematics, we have that. If your child likes theater arts, we have that. If your child likes the fine arts, we have that. My recommendation, because children, let's find their talent. On Monday, they may do piano, right? Piano on Mondays. Tuesday, they may do robotics. Wednesday, they may do the Christian Club. Thursday, they may do chess. Friday, they may do spelling, or any number of different activities. And we intend to offer all of that to our students, pre-K 3 to pre-K to 5. That's what the parents want from us, and that's what we're going to deliver.
Very good.
We're going to invest resources, significant resources to after-school programs, just like we are going to invest significantly in the early childhood programs as well.
Good. And then also, I know that we approved some additional help with meeting the needs of the challenges that we're going to be facing when the kids come back. We went ahead and approved additional staff to come in. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
This past week, the board, knowing full well how COVID-19 has impacted our community, particularly our students, the board has given me permission to hire 10 additional social workers so that we can go out into the community and service the needs of those students that have been emotionally impacted by COVID, either because they've been quarantined for a year or more, or because they've had loved ones that they have died to COVID. We know that, or because they haven't seen their friends for over a year. We know that many of our students have been emotionally impacted. the board has given me permission to hire 10 more social workers so that we can get out there to the community and look for these students that need social emotional support. And that's in fact, that's a big part of our, in fact, that is a priority for us as well.
Yes, sir. And because we all know that unless the child addresses those issues, they can't really do the proper learning. So we're going above and beyond to make sure that they're, we've all been through a lot. So we can address all the different issues, not just the learning issue, but also the social issue. So that's very important. And I just wanted the public to know that we're going above and beyond to meet all the challenges and the needs of these children, so they become well-rounded individuals.
Yes, sir. The end in mind for us as the board president, as a superintendent, as an organization, now we very well know that education is the way.
Yes, sir.
And the parents know that too. And so we want to deliver on the highest quality education there is, because we know that if we have high quality investments up front, pre-K3, pre-K4, we know that if we have high quality after school programs, they're not just so that we can keep them in our schools until parents get off of work. That's not the sole purpose of that, even though that is important.
Yes, sir.
The purpose of after school program is to make them better students, so that the students, when they get to either high school or college, they can do high level, rigorous work.
Real good.
We talked about how these programs help a student become well-rounded, because in the workforce, as you know, as an employer, you need employees that can communicate, that have well-rounded students that can communicate and work as a team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we think that these after-school programs assist with that, not only to help them develop as students to be able to do rigorous work and eventually get a college degree.
Real good.
But we also that once they get their college degree, they can survive in the workforce because they can communicate with others, they can work as a team, etc. That's what all parents want.
Yes, sir.
Education is the way.
Yes, sir. It is.
We know that.
Yes, sir. And we need to go ahead, and I can't emphasize this enough. There is no better place you can send your child. Not only do we have quality programs, we have all the athletic sports available. We have state-of-the-art fields for them to practice, to work on, to play games. We have our own PAC centers, where our own theaters where they can go. There's a wide array of different things that your child can be exposed to, with opportunities that the future has for them. And I can't think of a better place than ECISD to go ahead and come and have a safe environment to be in, have quality education, and at the end of the day, be given the opportunity to see what you really enjoy doing and spend the rest of your life working toward that and making it a livelihood. And I can't think of a better place, with all the equipment, with all the facilities, and ECISD is the place to send your child. And you can start them at 3 years old.
That's right.
Who else can say that?
Right. Full day pre-K3 program, free for all families. If you don't live in Edinburg, we have what we call open enrollment in our policies. You simply call our offices, and there's an application, and we'll take your application, and we'll find a school for you.
Exactly.
Before we wrap it up, I do want to remind our community, we do have summer school for all children.
All children.
All children are invited for our summer school program. That is step number 1 in our road to recovery from the learning losses that we know our children experienced as a result of being quarantined and learning virtually, we know that all children experience learning loss. And we have summer school as step number one. And we're inviting all children to participate in summer school.
Yes, we are.
And as we get benchmarks and as we get STAR score results, we'll start tailoring our academic programs based on benchmarks, based on test results, etc. Some students are more advanced than others, and we have programs for those as well.
Very good.
That wraps it up for today, sir. We have a lot to talk about, and we'll continue these discussions. Today was mostly elementary
Yes, sir.
programming, but in the coming programs, we have a lot that we feel our parents need to want to know.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're going to continue to emphasize. For now, thank you for joining us for the Superintendent's Perspective. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Thank you.